Please excuse my ashiness. I've been washing my hands day in and day out, so if I'm really ashy, I apologize. A dad and a father is needed within a child's development. And the reason why I say this is because I have the experience of not having one, and then I'm also in the experience of being one. This is why I feel the need to kind of like talk about it. I want to talk about two facts: how important it is when it comes to like identity, self-worth challenges, when it comes to a kid not having his dad there. And then the second one is going to be like attachment and trust difficulties, the identity, right? As I'm a dad right now, I'm realizing in my boy's life, I'm kind of giving him his morals, his understanding, his principles that I also have to stand on myself. But in that teaching and in that discipline of consistently teaching him, I'm realizing like my presence is needed. His mom has her own way of communicating and instilling in him what is needed. When it comes to a dad, that's completely different. You're the one that they are going to eventually sound like, walk like, speak like, operate like. So in that matter, you're communicating who they are, because those identities that aren't necessarily there when the father is not present, it is crazy. I'm telling you, I've been through it. It causes issues of like lower self-esteem. It causes issues of abandonment. I felt abandoned growing up for things I did not know. But at the same time, man, trying to identify yourself of who am I with no present imagery, with no present sort of image there, it is difficult. It is very difficult. So if you are a parent, if you are the dad, it is important that you are in that kid's life. Circumstances happen. Everyone is different. Every circumstance is different. But if there is control in your essence to be there in any way, shape, or form, why not? Why not? The next thing that happens with it is it causes understanding of, am I valuable? There's questioning of saying, am I valuable enough to receive the commitment from said king, said the one that created me? Am I worthy of it? Because it isn't there. It's missing. Am I valuable enough for that? Those are the questions that are being impacted with the kid that is not necessarily there. I was there. I was in it. I was just like, man, it was a big question mark. The most important thing as a kid, as I'm noticing when it comes to my kids, is they don't care about toys as much. They care about your attention. Are you watching them do what it is that they are doing? Are you observing them? Are you seeing them and cheering them on and doing all of that? That's why they have this performative sort of thing. They always want your attention. They always want that. If you don't have that, if your attention is elsewhere, what is the psychological impact of that? You know, and I'm realizing, like, if I'm in my phone and I'm not paying attention to my kid, they let me know, yo, like, look at me. They'll be like, daddy, daddy, daddy. And I'm just like, man, I'm sitting in there. I'm just like, oh man, yeah, I'm on my phone. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And I'm sitting in there and I'm just like, man, like they really want my attention. And sometimes I complain. Sometimes I act like it's a big deal. It's a big burden sometimes, I'll be honest. And then those moments that come in, I'm just like, man, they really want me to see them. They really want me to see them. Psychological impacts. I've been there. I would go, man, if you gave me attention when I was growing up, man, what? Please. That's why I migrate. Even this, like, I migrate toward the avenues that acquire attention for the lack of it that I didn't receive. And that's why I always try to reach for the highest things in anything that I did. And I bounced a lot because of the attention, if it went there, and all these different things just growing up. Had a connection been made with a biological, because we have some father figures that step in, and that is how I got here. A father figure stepped in. That said, it is psychologically still impaired for myself because I'm not seeing the biological blueprint. It looks like me, sounds like me. So in that matter, those psychological impacts are still there. Those psychological questions are still there. If you are a dad, first time dad, by any means necessary, figure out how to be there. Because the more you are there, the kid will get an understanding of who you are. So at that moment, if things don't sustain, if the maintenance of that relationship doesn't take place or anything, that is a logical, rational choice because you were present enough for them to either feel how you are or you feel how they are, and that relationship can make that decision at that point. But you being there, you can at least give them answers. I don't know who I'm convincing. And a lot of times when I do these talks, I do them in the manner of me talking to myself in a future moment. So that's why it seems so personable. I watch these stuff back to back as if I'm talking to myself. I think there was one more point, and that one point was attachment and trust difficulties. Because of the lack of attention, because of the psychological impacts that make those questions come up, you start making actions, you start doing things, and that creates the attachment. I attach to things, I attach to people, I attach to objects, I attach to a lot of different things that I wanted to identify with if it brought attention, because I didn't feel like it was, I don't want to say it wasn't there. Attention was there, but in terms of the eyes that you want on you, there could be a bunch of eyes, but if you have certain eyes that you want on you, if that's not on you, you know what that feels like. If you're in the position of dad and that kid, that's what they want. That's what they're seeking. And sometimes we allow our shame to bury the idea of like, I can't do, or this or that. Those are all narratives that we put on ourselves wholeheartedly. But I say all that to say, with the attachments and the repercussions of those attachments don't really come with loyalty. So you have a difficulty in trust. You have a difficulty in always thinking that somebody's going to leave or you'll be fine without people. You're overly independent. You don't necessarily have a communal sort of outlook. And that was within me. It's still things that I got to get out because it's still psychologically there. You have to rewire to kind of get out of that if you're a product of it. But to be in it, to be in a dad and be in the moments where things are so driven high up energy. There's certain days where I'm just like, man, I don't even know how I'm going to do this. When I'm in it and I see the missing pieces that I have wounds from, and I'm in here and I have the ability to try my best to figure it out for the sake of them not having to have questions that aren't answered and them have to learn and all. Now they're going to learn in the world or whatever, but I would love for them to be able to like, yo, hit me and just be like, what's up? I just wanted to talk about that. This was a bit long-winded. If you got what you needed out of it, I appreciate it. Please like, share, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video.